When it comes to communication, the best deals actually come directly with dealing with the sellers themselves. Everyone is different, and your communication style needs to match the communication patterns of the sellers. So, broadly speaking, there are 7 different types of sellers. So the first type of sellers that you want to look out for are the ones who are what we call external people. So external people actually look for external sources of reference to validate the decisions. So they will look for advice all the time, and they're also very visual. They want to see things all the time just to help them make a decision. So you better have brochures ready, and you have to have all the materials that they need. And sometimes you can actually pick up just through a conversation that they are very visual and very external. Is when you actually hear words like, this doesn't actually look good to me, or I can't see myself being in this property, or I need to speak to my friends. So these are the external people that you need to look out for. So the second type of people that you need to look out for are the auditory people. So they are more inclined to make decisions based on what they hear. So for example, car salesmen actually know that auditory people love the sound of the car engines. So they'll put more emphasis on switching off the engines, and you can hear the engine roaring, and it's the sound that actually gets them excited. In their communication, they're mostly over the phone. They will want to judge you by the tonality of your voice, and they'll judge you by what you actually say to them that actually rather sounds good or bad to them. So look out for words like, oh, this doesn't sound good. I don't like the sound of this. So you have to pay attention to the auditory people, because they listen more than they talk. The third type of people that you'd like to come across are the kinesthetic people. So these are the people who are very internal. They internalize information before they make a decision. So how do you normally know that they are kinesthetic or internal? Is when you speak to them, they tend to speak more slowly, and they would take their time, and they might take 2 or 3 seconds before they answer your question. So it's really vitally important that you don't disrupt them and give them that time to process the information. Otherwise, you just break the communication down. So watch out for them. This type of people that you're going to be likely to come across are the ones who are very digital. And that means they want to know absolutely everything to the minute detail. So when you're dealing with them, they have this incessant need to know all the information, so you better have all that information ready. So whether it's a contract or product specifications, you better have them ready, otherwise they just don't feel satisfied enough to make an informed decision. Have you ever been to a movie and you've seen people, after the movie is finished, they sit through the credits until it's finished before they go out? Well, these are what we call the process-orientated people, because in any process there's a beginning and there's an end. So a lot of shoppers, especially my wife, she would actually want to go to the first shop, and she likes something she wants to buy, but she feels a need to go around different shops only to come back to buy the very first item that she's chosen, because she's gone through that process. So for process-orientated people, they feel the need to complete the journey, and you want to make sure that they complete the journey before they make a decision. Mismatchers tend to say the opposite to everything you say. If you say it's hot, they'll say no, it's cold. Or if you say to them that it takes a long time to sell property through an estate agent, they'll say, no, not really, it will take 3 days. So they're always sort of trying to contradict you. So why do they do that? I don't know. I think some people just have this natural instinct to contradict, but you have to be able to deal with them. So the important thing is to not continue arguing with them, because there's no end to it. So what do? I would suggest you agree with them, because mismatchers, once you agree with them, they probably get stunned and don't know what to do, and they seem to back off. And in fact, you completely agree with them. Let's say you want them to come to the pub, and then they say no. And then you say to them, no, it's better for you not to come to the pub. And then they'll probably want to come to the pub with you. So there's an element of reverse psychology as well. So that's something you could try. sometimes during a negotiation, I get a bit nervous when I'm speaking to someone who keeps saying yes to everything that I say. And if I ask for a deal, I would expect a bit of objection, but instead the person keeps saying yes, yes, I'll do it, I'll do this, and everything's yes. You know, I get a bit suspicious about this type of people, because over the years, I actually know that they are not going to say no because it's not in their nature to do so, because they don't like telling people no, because they think it's rude. And these people, we call them the agreeables. So what does that mean when you're dealing with agreeables? Well, the likelihood is that just before you're about to sign a contract, you might have all the last minute objections. And even if they said yes at the beginning to signing the contract, you might find that right in the last minute, they've got to back out of the deal. So what you need to do is to make sure that any objections there are, even if they say yes, it's okay, you want to bring them out to the front for discussions to make sure that they're handled before you proceed to the next step. So agreeables, just because a yes, it could mean no. Hey, thank you for watching. If you like this, make sure you don't forget to tell your friends about it, and I'll see you soon.